Greetings, welcome to Quantum Leap. This is a show that brings you great insights from myself, oftentimes my guests from government, investment community to help you advance the growth and expansion of your business. Today, I'll be covering the topic of how you can activate the power of social selling, media, strategic communication to accelerate the growth and expansion of your business. So we're living at a time where having a website or having a social media profile is not just enough, right? We've moved from the era of you need a website, you need an email, you need a social media platform, you need to engage. I think the next level dimension of really deepening conversations within your stakeholder community is activating the power of social selling. And social selling integrates the power of media, conversation, strategic communications, and it really is a holistic perspective of just deepening conversations with your stakeholders. So today I'm going to break down a few things you want to consider if you want to not just have a website, not just have a social media profile, but you actually want to lead a conversation, you want to grow a community, you want to also strategically position your brand and your business as a go-to resource, a trusted voice on specific topics and specific insights that your community and your stakeholders care about. So the very first thing I want you to consider today is what conversations are you going to lead? Because what's happening in the marketplace is that customers and clients are not only looking to buy your products, they're not just looking to buy a service, they're actually looking for education, insights, transformation on the journey to the purchase. So not people are no longer saying, I want to buy a product, I want to buy a service, and that's it. The transaction in of itself is now bigger, broader than just a product and a service. So if all you're still doing is telling people or asking people to buy my products, to buy my services, you're missing out on the real conversation that is deepening and happening right now, is that clients and customers want to be educated on the journey to the purchase. They want to be engaged, right? They want you to lead them. They want you to educate them. They want you to enlighten them, not just about your product and your service, but really what they're navigating that is involved in your space. So when you think about the consumer journey through the lens of, say, someone searching for a solution, most people now search for an existing conversation before they search for the product or service. Right? We go on YouTube, right? If you want to buy a TV, you want to hear what other people have to say about this product, right? If you feel you want to invest in some coaching or consulting, you want to see what's out there. What are people saying out there? Who are the experts leading the conversation? So that's why it's important for you to ask yourself, what conversations am I going to lead? What conversations do my constituents, my stakeholders, my community, whether you're in the government or you're the leader in the business world, you want to start asking, what do my communities care about? What do they want to hear? What are they navigating? What questions do they have on their minds? What's key to helping them achieve the success that they desire? And you want to own those conversations, and you want to congregate, you want to bring people around those conversations. So just think about the world is going back to how it used to be in the villages where people would gather around a conversation. If you want to lead now and in the future, you have to be a leader in conversation, in activating conversations, in leading conversations, in also helping to answer the deep questions in the hearts and minds of your stakeholders. It's also not enough for you to declare that you're going to sponsor an event. That's great, but it's not enough. It's not enough for you to just talk about product placements, maybe in a movie and all of that. That's fantastic. But now you have to produce your own conversations. You have to produce your own events if you want to own the conversations. Right? So we typically would have platforms and brands that own conversations, and you will visit, you would exhibit, you would go there to showcase your product, you would probably be a speaker. That's fantastic. Keep doing that. But if you want to lead now and in the future, you now need to activate your own events. You need to activate your own conversations. You need to bring people together. You need to open up your doors, and you need to invite in your colleagues, your stakeholders, right? Your community members, your industry leaders. And you need to start having activities, engagement that showcases your position as somebody who cares to provide deep insights, right? The latest insights within your community. Because again, people are searching for conversations before they are searching for right products and services. So when we go online, right, searching for the conversations within your industry, would we find your brand, right, present, leading, right? Would your brand be involved in the social dialogue? Because truly, we're all having conversations online today. Your clients, your customers, your stakeholders, they're having conversations online. But if you don't have a seat at the table, or if you don't own the table, or if you're not part of the audience, you're missing an opportunity really to be part of the social dialogue. What is also to be noted is the consumption, how media is being consumed today. I've had different people tell me different things. They've given me incredible feedback, right? In fact, I have this funny story of when I was missing a client over Zoom, and suddenly the client's kid came into the scene and said, "Wait a minute, is this the lady that you used to watch on YouTube? Do you know her?" Like the kid was like, "Wait a minute, I always see you consuming content, right? Watching a particular YouTube channel with this person, right? Speaking, right? And suddenly you seem to be having a conversation and talking to that person live. This is fascinating." And truly, that's where we are today. Is that conversations that activate online can also now be brought to two-way conversations. So part of the power of social selling is not just you, right, putting content out there and expecting people to just consume, right, to be consumers of your content. But truly, people are looking to have a conversation with you, right? They want to talk to us as well. They want to ask us questions. They want to set up conversations. So how do you organize your teams around this new phenomenon, around not just creating content, not just publishing content, not just putting content out there, the blogs, the news, not just, putting so much work out there, but how do you also create this type of back channel that allows your communities to actually now have a conversation with us, asking us questions, sending us emails, right? Requesting for conversation to deepen that engagement. You need to start thinking about that, because now it's no longer just a one-way dialogue. People want to really be seen, be heard. So consumption is different. I've also heard people tell me, listen, I'm consuming when I'm driving, right? So you want to also think about timing, right? Sometimes we produce content that is time sensitive, but you also now need to also produce content and resources that maybe people can access at their own available time, right? So I've heard people talk about while they are jogging, they're listening to motivational speakers. I've heard people say, "Toyin, you're my you're my jogging buddy." You see, there's a lot of human to human connection, H to H, heart to heart. Social selling allows you to be human. So how do you help your brand, your business connect with real people, have real conversations within your industry? Because when you are able to do that, you're going to tap also into the power of attraction marketing. Not just you seeking and pursuing clients and customers, but also allowing potential clients and customers to say, "You know what? I love what I heard about you. I love the content you've put out there. What you were talking about was so helpful to my team. In fact, I forwarded this video to my team members for them to watch, for them to deepen, for them to understand. And I think we're ready to have a conversation with you. Are you available for a phone call? That is so powerful, right? So if you're someone that is investing, whether it's outbound sales, right? You also want to start investing where people are, in a way qualifying themselves through consumption of your work, right? Your body of work, by listening to you enough times, by reading your white papers, by watching your show or your content, by accessing all of that, they can form their own opinion. They can make their own decisions to decide if you're the one for them. They really can. And so, how do you create such an engaging conversation, right? You have to understand clearly who your clients and customers are. And then you also have to go a little bit deeper and ask yourself, what do they care about? What questions do they have on their mind that you can help address? And it's not just frequently asked questions, all the things we used to do. Yeah, the frequently asked questions. Here is our phone number. Here's our form. Those things are now static. They're still static for a moving forward, progressive society. How do you make your frequently asked questions come alive? Right? Through the power of social selling. So you could start with going through the list of frequently asked questions. How about you host a live engagement for the next couple of weeks, right? Selecting each of the frequently asked questions and discussing it publicly. And hosting a session and saying, these are the questions, the top questions that people we've worked with in the past, these are the questions they've asked us, and this is how we've answered it. You could do that. I think that would be more powerful than a static page that people are reading, that is same old, that has no emotion, right? That doesn't deepen trust. It just says, this is who I am, this is what we do, this is what we can do for you. You also have to know today that competition is very, very high. If you're still doing what everybody else is doing, you're missing the opportunity to differentiate yourself. Social selling allows you to bring your personality to the world, right? To bring your voice, your personality, your identity, right? Your values, right? It gives you the platform to be you. And in a way, it's more magnetic because other people can then decide, listen, we want to be part of whatever it is you're doing. We like you, right? We trust you. We want to engage with you. We want to listen to you. We believe you. We trust you. And isn't that the foundation of business? Right? Building trust, human to human. The other thing you want to start thinking about is what I call assets, right? Digital assets, your video collection. And you want to think about whatever content you create today. How are you going to create a directory where, say, a year from now, people can still access the insights, people can still access the education you delivered, people can still extract value from assets, because assets live longer than short form. And I have my personal take on a lot of the short form content, 15 seconds here. Many people are investing incredible amounts of time. They're putting their teams behind, dissecting, 15 seconds clips, bite-sized information. That's okay. Keep doing that. But I think when you get into a space where people want to deepen connection with you, they need more than 50 seconds, right, of a clip. They want to listen longer, because if you want to actually give birth to transformation and you want to impact people, one of the ways the human mind is shaped is it has to be exposed for longer duration of time to a new insight, to new information, to new ways of thinking that influences new way of feeling and being. So if you actually care enough to seek to transform your industry, if you want to deliver impact to the world, you have to actually invest in immersive experiences. Okay? So think about what that has to look like. How do you want people to experience you, experience your brand, experience your company, experience your work? Not just as bite-sized clips, but actually the 360 perspective of what you're about, of the impact you're bringing, because that's where transformation lives. Transformation never lives in bite-sized information, because the human mind, for it to be transformed, for it to be renewed, for it to ascend to higher ways of being and thinking, actually needs deeper level of exposure, deeper insights, richer insight. Deep thinking is what gives back to transformation. So if you're a leader, right, you want to lead your industry, and you see that there are certain ways your industry is today that has to be disrupted, that has to change, that has to shift. If you want to change behavior, you cannot change behavior simply by minimal investments in content. Social selling allows you to actually create richer depths of experiences, insights, education that would actually give your prospects, your stakeholders, an opportunity to go deeper. Because when they go deeper in the thoughts that you have, in the way that you believe the future of your industry ought to be or look like, you want to lead people into that future by guiding them, educating them, and then the offshoots is really sales. You can then have a conversation and say, listen, I can help you get closer to that future with our products and services. So it's about casting a vision for the future you see and you believe belongs to your industry. But realize people are stuck in the old ways. People are so used. This is about change management as well. We're so used to who we are, how we used to do things. And in a way, if you want to lead people to that better future, you've got to paint a clear picture of what it looks like. You've got to sell the idea of why we need to go into that future. And then you also have to create steps, right? This journey of this transformative journey of bringing other members of your community on that journey. And the key is you can then position your products and your services as key enablers to helping people accelerate that journey into the future. That's the point where sales is activated in social selling, right? As you host those conversations, those meaningful conversations, as you deepen trust, as your community now sees you as the leader in that space, they are more inclined to say, how do we get this faster? How do we get there faster? Do you have tools? Do you have more insights? What else can we use to help us get there faster? We want that future. We want to arrive there with you. And seriously, that's when your leadership pays off. This is when sales, right, is activated. Is that when people trust you to lead them to achieve the results that they seek to achieve, all of a sudden they can trust you enough that your product and services will do exactly what you say it's going to do. So think about that. Again, clients and customers are not just looking to buy, particularly when we are living in a world that has been disrupted. Industries have been disrupted. People are looking for the future. They're looking for leadership. They're looking for those who care enough to educate them, give them insights, guide them, listen to them. There's a lot of emotion going on also in purchase today. And before people are writing the check, they're saying, listen, we're taking a risk on you. The risks are higher right now. So how you're going to lower the risk is also to build more trust conversations, right? To host more trust conversations. And the more conversations and engagements and insights that can be extracted or accessed, right, from your company, from your brand, that is now the value, right? That is now the value. The byproduct of that value is transaction, people buying your product and services. So think about this. You're no longer selling just a product and service. you're actually selling education around the product and service. So, social selling and the power of media and strategic conversations allow you, right? This it gives you the power to create an educative framework around your work, around your industry that provide insights because we're living at a highly disrupted right time in the world. Your industries have been disrupted, digital acceleration, digital disruption. We're all asking questions. We want answers. We're trying to say, what's the future going to look like? How do I grow my business? How do I retain my customers? Because when you think about it, customers are also asking for personalization, right? And social media, right? And social selling, using also the power of social media to have those conversations, gives you the ability as well to meet people where they are, to connect with them. Because media is also being fragmented because people are saying we're not looking to a single source to tell us who we are, what we should do, how we should spend our money. No, we know who we are. Now we're searching for people who validate us. We know what we want, and we are now searching for brands that fulfill that requirement. So think about it, that on the consumption side as well, the demand side of media, the demand side of consumption, right, has clarity on the lifestyle that they want, and they're looking for brands and businesses that can connect with them. And part of lifestyle is, in a way, is also, right, elevating our thoughts. And so we also now cherish brands and businesses that are investing heavily in guiding, educating, providing the insights that helps us take our life, our families, our businesses to higher levels. So care enough not just about selling a product or a service, but care about bringing people along on that journey, educating people along on that journey, providing enlightenment on that journey that helps people feel that you've actually invested in their own future. And so because you've done that, they're going to trust you to really invest in your products and services. So thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of Quantum Leap. Next week, I'm looking forward to having guests from the Small Business Administration, SBDC, here in Aurora as guests and on my show to provide insights and educate us on how they support businesses in our community. Thank you so much. My name is Toyin Umesiri. Feel free to check my website, toyinumesiri.com, for more insights, more resources. And if you would like some support, personalized support, please do check it out. And I do have the Entrepreneurs Academy and then my book as well, Mindset of an Entrepreneur. Do check that out. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now.